Okay. Hopefully that fixed it. I don't know what was going on. We were having some issues there with the live stream, and none of the notifications went out. The live stream wouldn't pop up on several people's through their devices, however they were watching. I was getting people texting me, and I just got an email. What's going on? Where's the live stream? What's going on, everybody? Welcome. It's the one, the only Pig Trail Network. Only we're live this time. You guys, I actually got scolded on my last video. I had someone scold me, and they said, because, I do my usual, I call it my personal greeting, and I do it for new and reoccurring viewers who come through and watch all the content. I do my little 50-second, it's about 45-second intro, a little personalized intro. And someone scolded me in the chat and said, if you want to make videos shorter, you should get rid of that. Sometimes I don't actually even upload that. Sometimes I actually cut that out. It just depends on the mood of the video, but I like it because it's kind of personalized. So having saying that, if you guys would, those of you who are watching this live, and if you're watching this later when we're not live, thank you so much for stopping by. Please remember to like, comment, share the content that you're watching or that you have finished watching, and please feel free to tap the subscribe button. And don't forget the notification bells as well. I don't know what was going on with that. I don't know if that was a YouTube glitch. I have no idea. No notifications were out. And then some people were saying they couldn't come into the live stream. So it's part of doing this stuff live. And, you're going to run into issues. We have so much to cover. I always give people about, I'll wait about 2-3 minutes. I want to see those, I kind of want to see some more people come through because it gets old kind of repeating, when people want to get caught up and stay live so they can ask live questions, they tend to miss out on some of the older, what we talked about at the beginning of the video. So I'm going to give, like I said, I'll give 2-3 minutes, and then we will go from there. What's up, man? Love your content. Keep it up. Thanks, Michael. Spivey surprised me. I ain't gonna lie, says Alex. What's going on, Alex? Hey, man, I'm here. Derek, welcome. Welcome. Please, I did. If you guys don't, I know some people just don't like Twitter and they're not there, but I try to keep everybody up to, up to date there. Right, like if I'm going to go live, and then I'll also try to throw a YouTube comment out, which is fairly new to my channel. I just recently unlocked that chat, whatever they call that, super chat, whatever it is, so that way I can write a post and you guys can all see it. But I try to keep everyone up to date on Twitter. But I said on Twitter, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask me there on Twitter. I did have a few people DM me, and I had some people email me, and I did have a couple people hit me up on Facebook. So I'm going to answer some of those questions, and I will answer your questions in chat. I got to say, starting off, I'm glad that I was wrong about Amante Spivey, and it's unfortunate about Lakia Henry. And if those of you who maybe you just got home from work and you have no idea, you're not active on social media, you don't have friends that are really into sports, so you don't get a whole lot of text messages about what happened today, but Lakia Henry, the 4-star JUCO linebacker, did not pick the Razorbacks today. He actually, well, we'll get into that. Oh, yeah. James Rice says, not had time to watch the TV. Thank God for Ty. Thank you, James. Glad you could make it. I always complain about not having my glasses. Kick Science says we missed on the 2 linebackers. I hear we did. Russell also not coming to Arkansas. Son. I try to do these things chapter by chapter, try and knock these things out, but it is unfortunate. Newsflash, we didn't land either one of those linebackers. If you want my opinion, that's a huge loss. Because after this year, yeah, you've got Bumper Pool, you got Zymos coming in, but you're losing Scuda. They already lost Dre Greenlaw. I think D. Walker, I was told, is transferring. They've lost guys at that position. I think Munson, not that, that's, I hate to say it, that isn't quality depth. When you lose that depth, and on top of that, you already are kind of thin there at talent, as far as talent's concerned. That's a huge loss. And not landing either one of these linebackers, in my opinion, is a bit of a gut punch. Anthony says, what's the news on the quarterback for Texas A&M? We'll get to that as well in just a minute. Frederick Clemens, what up? I hate we didn't get any more linebackers, but hey, top 20 recruiting class, but it's always up to coaches to develop. And absolutely right. Frederick couldn't put it better myself. Michael Harris says, I'm ready to see what the quarterback battle will look like this year. That's going to be intriguing, isn't it? That's going to be an interesting story to watch unfold. I hope, God willing, I get a press pass or something. I have some access. Regardless, we'll have obviously the open spring game. But I cannot wait to watch that. That's going to be interesting to see what Hicks brings to the table. Man, why Ole Miss? Why Ole Miss indeed. Frederick, you the man. Thanks, Frederick. Being in Memphis, you're my main source. I'm glad I can finally keep up with my Hogs. I am so happy to hear that, Derek. I really am. That makes my day when people say I have no other connection to anybody who's doing anything with the Razorbacks, especially on YouTube, except you, Ty. That's what I'm here for. It's what I don't get paid to do this, but I absolutely love trying to, keeping you guys up to date. People who are, kind of on the outside looking in, not a lot of followers. I'm sure a lot of you are probably a part of message boards, maybe 24/7 with the Hog Sports or Hog Beat with Rivals, or you're on some of those open free boards, and that's easy to access. But I, want to. It's nice to have another route, to Razorback Sports. I just wish I could get you guys a video like every day. Let's see. Kick Science. Lakia went to the worst state in the union. Gavin Pratt. We still got a good amount of defense. We did. I'm trying my best to, because I want to, like I said, I want to do this chapter by chapter, but they signed a lot of defensive linemen. I'm going to tell you, not all of those guys they signed are going to stick on the defensive line. They're going to move some guys around. We don't know yet. We don't know who that is yet. We don't know where exactly they're going. We know that there was rumors that they're going to offer, or that they were going to move some of these guys over to the offensive line. That's still a possibility, although I wonder if some of that was talk before they were able to kind of sign some offensive linemen, some the JUCO and what have you. They wound up with more linemen than I thought they would, honestly. So I wonder if that still sticks. But there are rumors that they're going to move some of those guys around a little bit. So, yes, they signed strong on the defensive line. They also lost a corner today also who flipped. I said he was going to flip. People said they didn't believe me. He flipped. I'm telling you guys, when I have 3 legit sources telling me the same thing, the odds are it's going to happen. Those same sources called Kelly Bryant. They talked about the transfers. When the moons are aligned, something is happening. And I was told this by all 3 of my strongest, and I hate, that word, that's a buzzword, source. I don't know what else to call them, but those individuals were all 3 dead on right. And I'm not going to argue with them. And then just, reading what people are saying on social media too. You read the cues, you see what some of the players are saying and how they're talking to each other. It's amazing how much of that is really telling. So, let's see. Gavin says we still got a good amount of defense. Oh, yeah, we already answered that. Frederick Clemens. Yep, this is a huge loss. Time to offer 2020 linebackers. I will tell you this. Another position that I was concerned about, and this was actually an email. This is a really good question. Now, when you email me, I don't read your email address out loud because I'm assuming you're not here. You didn't hit me up on Twitter. You don't want your name out. You don't want your email out. So I'm not going to, unless you say otherwise, I'm not going to say your email. And some people kind of hold that as close to them as like their own personal phone number. I know I do with one of my emails. But this individual asked me about the running back situation. In fact, he says, why did we only go after one running back? They didn't. They actually went after more than one running back. What's 2020 look like as far as offering more running backs? Well, they're definitely going to, they've offered 15, I think last I saw was 15 running backs in the 2020 class. 3 of them are out of Georgia, 2 4-stars and a 3-star, according to 24/7 Sports. They're going after running backs. Linebackers are probably going to be that next position where they just fire it up. I think you're probably going to see them. I think linebacker, you're going to see a lot of offers. I don't know where they're at right now as far as linebacker offers. I know it's a lot. JSJ is my pick. For what? Oh, the quarterback over Hicks? I don't know about that. I just don't. With his knowledge, the fact that he's played in, he hasn't played in Power 5 football. I get that, but he's played under Chad Morris. I have a hard time, but we still need to see a spring before we start making quarterback predictions. Excited about this recruiting class, says Daryl. Frederick, what up? With Starkel, if I spelled that right, Starkel has narrowed down. I guess he's narrowed down. I don't know if he's adding to his list, but I think it's Arizona. Now, this is the A&M backup that lost out to Kellen Mond. It's Arizona, Ohio State, Arkansas, and SMU, I think, are his four favorites. If Arkansas makes that list, if he chooses Arkansas, that's going to be huge. Let's see. The offensive line is key, says Earl. You are correct, Earl. Frederick, you should get paid maybe one day. That's the goal. That was something else I was going to share with you guys, too. I actually put in for a writing job or to write over at hogsports.com. Talked with Trey Biddy a little bit. I was a finalist for the job. I was talking with Trey just the other day about that, and we may still do something in the future. I'm not throwing anything out there. We're not beyond that. I don't know what it is, but it was really cool to know that I was at least a finalist for that. So I was almost paid to do this, but it would have been writing. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I don't have a degree. I was surprised I even made it as a finalist. I'll be completely honest with you. And we had a really good back and forth, emailing each other. And it was really cool to kind of get to know him a little bit better. Let's see. Bill says, Lapin made it. Welcome, Bill. Although I feel like you were here earlier. Maybe not. Henry says, pickle chin. Do I have a pickle chin? Is that what that is? I believe Catalan will be a defensive demon. Good grief. Was Catalan not just a huge land for the Razorbacks? In my opinion, probably the best defensive commit they got. I know that's a mouthful because they actually had some pretty good, especially on the defensive line, some solid recruits end up signing with the Hawks. But Catalan to me I think he's the best. Chad Moore said he's the best. How did he put it? The best defensive player he's seen in person. That's a mouthful. And I don't know. Obviously, it's just on paper, for us as, compared to someone like Chad Morris. We are all on the outside looking in when you're talking about someone on the staff bragging on him. And I know Chief John Chavis is really excited about that land as well. I believe, no, we already read that. It's the 20th the highest we've ever been, says Fishman. No. Well, Rivals, someone's going to have to go back and look. I think Rivals 2010, they had the 17th, 16th overall class, but I don't know. It is the most 4-stars they've ever signed. Did any notable commits fail to sign? Not that I'm aware of. Now, again, I just got home, was able to get the kids settled down. I have not been able to go through and read everything yet. I can just talk about who signed. What's up, Blake? TYZ, what's up, bro? Finally made it to a live show. Whoop Ixui, what a day for the Hawks. Yeah, this was, look, not landing the linebackers is a blow. Okay? And that's kind of where I wanted to start this anyways. Not landing either one of them is a blow. There's no doubt about that. They needed to add at least one. If you get two, that's a cherry on top. They have got to start building at that position. The depth is one thing. It's having quality depth. Those are two guys who would have been quality. As of Friday, I said, look, they should sign Lakia Henry. Something happened. I think we can all guess as to what probably happened, and he's not a Hog. It's unfortunate. It's a punch to the gut, but it's not like they're in bad shape. Again, you sign a top 25, top 20 class after going 2-10. There's not much to complain about. I'm sorry. Realistically, if you weren't aware where they were at recruiting throughout the year and they finished 2-10, almost like you've had a blindfold on to recruiting, and then you lift the blindfold off and you see where they finished recruiting, how many 4-stars, your jaw would hit the floor. Now, obviously, we've been able to kind of absorb some of this because it's been unfolding really since their barbecue. Remember the barbecue they had? When was that? August? How many Razorbacks committed after that barbecue? Like 8 within like 7 days. One of them being 4-star receiver Treylon Burks committed, I believe, the following week after the barbecue. I mean, it's unbelievable. It is unbelievable. So we've been able to kind of see this unravel. So today is it's a little bittersweet. It's bitter because you didn't land either one of those linebackers. You had a corner who flipped and decided to go elsewhere. Went to USC. And I don't know why I'm trying to pull up the rest of my stuff here. I had some more notes. But having Spivey go ahead and sign, that was huge. And I think I said that in the last video that Spivey they needed to add a running back, because if next year you lose after 2019, you're really thin. And like we said earlier, they're offering a ton of 2020 running backs. I see them signing. I would not be surprised to see them sign 3-4 running backs in that 2020 class. Wouldn't be surprised at all. This is amazing after 2-10. Yeah, it's miraculous. We got this good of a class with a 2-10 record. Dustin, I don't know what you said, but your message got retracted. Sorry, bro. You're probably swearing. Swear words are sometimes caught up in the filter. Sorry. Lakia and Adonis are our only losses. I'm okay with it. Our receiver class is one of the best in the country. It is. And again, you have to take the good with the bad. Like I said, it's bittersweet. They finally were able to kind of put a stamp on this class. We've been talking about that all year. How many decommits? They wound up with a few. I said there'd be a few. Some of you told me I was wrong. Well, I wasn't. They had a few decommitments. That's going to happen. That's going to happen when you go 2-10. Again, bitter, sweet. Still an incredible class, all things considered. Best receiving class Arkansas has ever signed. I think maybe even the best defensive line class they've ever signed. Yeah, they didn't land the linebackers. You still have Zach Zymos coming in. You still have some good secondary. You still got some good guys in the secondary coming in. Catalan coming in is, again, I can't stress how much I'm just like a fan of him. I cannot wait to see him come in. Let's see. Get caught up on chat. Do you see Arkansas with the top 15 team the next 3 years, says Dustin. Ooh. Maybe. Yes, if they can continue to sign top 20 classes and can, put a good product on the field. I mean, having the talent is one thing. My God, I mean, Florida State, Texas, look at these schools that have struggled. Look at how good they, what they signed. And then look at the competition they play. It's not near what Arkansas has to play in the SEC West. I mean, yes, I can, but we have to start seeing something happen on the field. There's got to be a better product on the field. And like I said, 2-10, sorry to say it, not just a lack of talent, not just a whole rush of a new system and turning a 180 on what these guys did, comparatively to the years before. Coaches had some blame in that. I know it's not a real popular opinion, but they did. Not saying they deserve all the blame, but they do deserve some of the blame. But if they can turn things around on the field, put a good product on the field, continue to recruit like this, could you imagine what they could do if they go, even if they just win 6 games? Go bowling, because they're not going to be picked to go bowling this year. I know some of you disagree with that. I'm seeing a lot of people on Twitter and Facebook saying, 8-4, 7-5, here we come. They're not going to be picked to go bowling. If they are, I'm going to strongly question. Well, I don't know. We're going to have to wait and see. I just don't see them going bowling. If they finish with something like 6 wins, could you imagine how much of a reflection that's going to have and what that could do for recruiting? After what they just did going 2-10, after now he's got his bearings, right? Like they're here at Arkansas. They're able to make, create relationships with these kids. Now they've had a full recruiting cycle here. I think it'd be tremendous. And so I think they're going to do really well. I think they're going to double their win total from a year ago, which is only 4 wins. I think they're going to do at least that. Let's get caught up on chat. Let's see. So Dustin, I answered your question. Fishman, as long as Ole Miss and Missouri don't out-recruit us, I'm good. I have not looked at rankings yet. That is the one I was going to do that, and I forgot. Just want to let everyone know I've seen Treylon Burks firsthand, and he is better than Greg Childs, and Jerry is right. Cannot wait for the future of this program. I'd be careful with saying something like that. After all, Jarius Wright is an NFL receiver. Yes, I've heard people who've watched him in person say that he is arguably the best receiver. I've heard people say that he's the best receiver the state has ever seen in high school. You have to take that with a grain of salt. How they do in high school versus when they get to college, to D1, into the SEC. You got to remember, too, Jarius Wright and Greg Childs, those guys came into a situation where, the transition wasn't as rough. And then they had Ryan Mallett, Tyler Wilson throwing them the ball. It's going to take some time for that to get to that point where Petrino had them year 2, year 3. It's going to take some time. Maybe Burks' numbers are better. Maybe they're not. Maybe he doesn't develop into the receiver that we all think that he is. Who knows? I'd be careful with saying stuff like that, though. But I get Blake. You're not. I've heard people say that. I have heard that quite a bit. Let's see. Maybe if KJ pans out. I don't know what you're talking about, Tony. Let's see. Jason Jones says we won't be crap. We'll just replace that until we sign players like Trey Flowers again. Well, I mean, maybe they did. This was a really strong defensive line class. Need to go back and look at this class on the defensive line, Jason. They're pretty strong. And go back and look at Flowers' recruiting process. You'll see a pretty big difference. Maybe they have the next Trey Flowers. We'll have to wait and see. It's not just about evaluating and recruiting and getting them here. It's also about developing, right? You got to develop these guys. Ricky says, is there any concern with Catalon coming off an ACL injury and missing his full senior season? That I don't know. And I've wondered that exact same thing because, he missed, I think it was after the first game of the year, if I'm not mistaken. He got banged up. He had the ACL injury and missed the entire year. From what I understand, he should be fine. He should be good to go. I don't know if he's, is he going to get redshirted? That's, you could ask the same thing about Treylon Burks. Burks got hurt too towards the end of his senior season down at Warren. Fishman, I don't think we're going bowling. Brett screwed us big time. Bowl possible 2020 season, not before. Yeah, 2019. I just have a hard time seeing it right now. It's going to be 3 years without, going bowling, and that's hard to swallow. But it's a big old fat pill. But Hog fans are going to have to swallow the pill. I mean, they're just I don't know, unless the quarterback situation is drastically improved from what they had a year ago. And I do think Hicks, the fact that he played under Morris, he's familiar with this staff. He knows the offense. The problem is the guys around him. They're all going to be young and inexperienced. If we are a top 15 team in 3 years, if KJ is the man, or any quarterback for that matter, don't forget Connor Nolan, assuming he hasn't completely quit football by then and playing baseball. Let's see. And keeping them here, players like Darius Philon. Trey Flowers had 2 others to go with him in the backfield too. A very mean triangle. We were stacked. He did have he benefited. That's right. The guys around him helped, no doubt. Morris said Catalon top 5 best player he's ever seen. Yeah. Blake says, I agree, TYZ. Next year we shall see. But let's see. But year after next, we're going to be rolling. Okay. Caught up on chat. I try to do that best I can to answer your questions. I'm going to answer another Twitter question. Someone DM'd me. Question mark. Receiving class the best ever? Question mark. Yes. On paper. I think I already mentioned that, but I wanted to answer it anyways. So Studley, if you're in chat, yes, the answer is yes. On paper, the best receiving class they've ever signed. I think Oklahoma wound up with the best. I think they signed, depending on the recruiting page, I'm pretty sure they signed like 2 5-stars, which Oklahoma, they're rolling. Their coach isn't going anywhere. Isn't that crazy, though? Kingsbury, a failed Big 12 head coach at Texas Tech, is going to be a head coach in the NFL next year. Everyone wants to sign the next Sean McVay, no matter what they did. Maybe he'll work out in the NFL. I don't know. I know he wasn't very good in college. He did beat Brett Bielema, though, didn't he? Woo! Let's see. Jason Jones. Well, Chad Morris did bring in his own quarterback from SMU, so he knows how Chad coaches. Yeah. So back to this recruiting class. If you're going to ask me the guys that I like the most versus the guys that are going to come in and make the biggest impact, that was actually an email too that was sent, so I'll just word it that way. As far as guys coming in and making an impact out the gate, you've got to wonder about some of these defensive line, Matial Soli, Clay, kid out of Little Rock. Who didn't beat? That's very true. Toledo came in here and beat Brett Bielema. They are there's gonna be some guys come in and contribute, I think, out the gate. You're gonna see guys too, I think, not get redshirted. I wonder a little bit about Zach Zymos because of the transfers, because of guys moving around. I don't know that he's gonna come in and impact, but I think you're gonna see him on special teams. He's gonna play. The receivers, it's gonna be a coin flip. If Burks comes in, he's healthy, gets the playbook down, understands his role, could have an impact. If he's 100%, any one of those receivers. Look at all the receivers that have transferred out. And then look at what they're bringing in. There's just such a difference in terms of talent where these guys were at when they were being recruited. There's such a talent gap. And, you're talking about guys with big-time offers, with a lot of stars next to their names compared to some of the other guys that were Brett Bielema's own. I think you're probably going to see 2 or 3 of these receivers come in. In fact, I'd be surprised if they redshirted any of them, unless Burks just isn't healthy enough to go. That's going to be another. Maybe he needs to get redshirted. I don't know. Trey Knox. Someone brought up Trey Knox in chat. Trey Knox potential Hogatron. Trey Knox could be a monster. I think I was told some schools actually pulled out towards the end before he committed to Arkansas. I don't know if that was because he just made it be known that he was going to be a hog, or if they saw something maybe others didn't see. I don't know. I hope that that's not an indicator of things. Maybe there's an attitude issue. I don't think so. I've not heard anything. That's nothing that I can verify. But Trey Knox is to me, he's a big body. What is he? 6'4", 6'5", 215 pounds, something like that, if I'm not mistaken. Could come in and I've been told he's an athlete. But Burks is that guy. You just wonder where he'd be at for sure if he wasn't injured. What happened with Lakia Henry? He, didn't sign with the Hogs, obviously. What I can say is Lakia was all hog up until this last weekend. The people that I have had the ability to talk with, that probably, let's just say that they know things, and the only thing that I could really get out of them is that up until probably the last couple of days, he was all hog. He was a silent commit. Lakia Henry was a silent commit to the Razorbacks for a while, and then he wasn't. So what does that mean? Days before the final signing period. Let's look up what someone had an article on Lakia Henry. I was going to find it really quick. Yeah, but it is unfortunate. A lot of people are pointing to the fact that Ole Miss is a program that was busted for cheating, and they haven't quit, that they've only dialed it back. And I've heard that from multiple sources. That's probably still the case. I'm not saying that that's why I went to Ole Miss. I'm not going to accuse them of cheating. But it is a little strange that after, the trouble that they got into with the NCAA, that they're still able to recruit as strong. Look at Ole Miss pre-Hugh Freeze. Look at them after Hugh Freeze in terms of recruiting. There's a big difference. And we know history tells us that the only reason why they jumped under freeze was because they were cheating. Now they're not. It's not a top. They didn't finish with like an elite class like what they did with under Hugh Freeze a couple of times, but it's still some really impressive recruiting. That's not. It's not the norm for Ole Miss pre Hugh Freeze. But again, I don't know. Maybe he just liked Ole Miss better. Could have been that at the end of the day. Maybe he likes the fact that they're probably on pace to make a bowl game next year. I really don't know. It is unfortunate. Lockheed Henry was a pretty big blow, in my opinion. Let's see. Get caught up. Any other players still thinking about transferring? I've been told yes. I don't know who. I have not been given names, but and I think that's pretty obvious at this point, considering how many players have already transferred. Looking at schedule, if we win games, we should win. If we win games, we should win 5. One upset in our favor, and we might go bowling, but could easily. I don't know. Greg Simmons, what happened with Lockheed Henry? So, yeah, he obviously went to Ole Miss. I don't know what happened. He just didn't want to. Hey, Ty, I got a question. Do you think Hudson Henry will be effective, if not better, than his brothers? He dropped on Rivals. He went from the number 1 spot down to like the number 10 tight end. I guess some scouts or some recruiting analysts went and watched him play, and they dropped him a lot. To go from the number 1 tight end to fall back almost out of the top 10, I don't know. I don't know what they saw that other recruiting services didn't see. Everyone else has him as the number 1 tight end. I don't know. I guess time will tell. I think if Cheyenne O'Grady weren't, if he didn't do what he did last year, if he didn't accomplish what he accomplished last year, year 1 under Chad Morris, it'd have you wondering if maybe Hudson's going to come in and just have to be the guy. But you're going to see him. There's no doubt he's going to be on the field. He's going to be the number 2, assuming he stays healthy. I can't wait to see him play. It's going to be interesting to watch. I've heard that he runs routes as clean as any receiver that Arkansas recruited. Let's see. I heard that the girls in the dance team are lookers at Ole Miss. That's funny. Bill, you're a comedian. Greg Simmons, do you think our O-line will be decent this year? It's going to depend on whether or not these guys come in and the JUCOs come in and contribute, or we don't know what the offensive line is going to look like. That's the problem. We don't know what it's going to look like next year. The spring is going to be very telling. It's always interesting when people walk away from the spring and say, well, you didn't get anything from that. Well, this spring is going to be telling for Arkansas for a number of different reasons. Quarterback, it's going to tell us where the staff is with the quarterbacks, where they're at with the offensive line, where they're at with these receivers, with the young guys, assuming I don't know which of them are going to be here. I want to say at least 1 or 2. And where they're at with, in a number of different positions. This spring is huge for Arkansas, if you want my opinion, just to tell us where we're at in so many different spots. The offensive line is one that's key. And we may not know until the fall where they're at. We may not know until kind of like this year, halfway through the year, what this offensive line looks like. Although going into 2018, we knew they were going to be bad. And I think that's kind of the case with 2019. Good looking honky. Hi, Peter North here. Oh, okay. I think I know who that is. Question. Will we see a better running back? I'm not even sure what that means. Rakeem Boyd was a pretty stable, pretty good running back. Matt Bridge. Wasn't Matt Campbell at Toledo then, Iowa State coach, wins big games? Yeah, that was him. And now he's got a pretty big contract at Iowa State. He's a good coach, though. He deserves it. Huge fan. Cool. Thank you. Good looking hockey. Blake TV. This is my favorite Razorback channel. Subscriber number 187. Blake, you're the man. You're the man, Blake. I know who you are, Blake. You're a good dude. Tanya Henry. Do you think we're going to be ranked next year? No. I don't know. If you're talking about football, no. No, they will not be ranked. Finally made it. What's up? What's going on, Tyler Edmondson? Welcome. So there's really not a whole lot more to cover. We were going to talk a little bit about Starkel really quick. we know that he's. We actually kind of touched on him a little bit already, didn't we? Do I think realistically he ends up being a Razorback right now? No, I've not heard anyone say that he's coming here. No one has reached out to me and said that that's happening. We're gonna have to wait and see how that all kind of unfolds. Kind of like what I have to tell everybody all the time: be patient. We'll have to wait. If he were to come to Arkansas, would he be a difference maker? It'd be interesting. He lost the job at A&M, and you always wonder about guys that lose their starting jobs. Now, Clemson, special situation there. I mean, they have a once-in-a-lifetime – well, I shouldn't say once-in-a-lifetime. Once-in-a-decade quarterback come in, and Kelly Bryant moves out, right? But it's not like A&M was, a playoff contender. They were never contenders in the SEC West. The quarterback position wasn't exactly elite. So I don't know. Yeah, he'd be an upgrade to Hicks. Yes. If that's what you're looking for me to say. Yeah, I think he probably would be better than Hicks because obviously that Power 5 element being offered by a Power 5 program, being offered by an SEC program. But then when you compare the fact that Hicks has been a starter, he's been under Chad Morris, the question really is who would be more effective. And knowing this offense is a huge deal. And I don't know how effective he would be if he's not here day one in the spring, ready to go, with bells on. I just don't know. But I do agree we need a quarterback. If you want a shot at being bowl eligible next year, you need to get the quarterback position. Holy cow. James Rice with the $50 donation. Oh my goodness. I got that alert and I had to zoom in, blow my phone up. Thank you, James. Holy cow. Did not ask for that, but thank you. I always say there's links down below in the description box. You can become Patreon members, or you can do a one-time donate like James did. Thanks, man. That was incredible. Wow. I appreciate that. Let's read. Let's get caught up on chat. What are your thoughts on getting Spivey and all these nice lengthy receivers, and how impactful do you think they'll be in a few years? That's a great question, William. I think, first off, that's what you need, right? You've got to go after skill position guys in this offense. You got to have a quarterback that can get them the ball. And, I'm a big KJ Jefferson guy. I think a lot of people are, obviously. He's the big quarterback in this year's class, just like Connor Nolan was. Remember when Connor committed, everyone thought, there's our next Tyler Wilson. So you got to be patient with these things and let these guys develop. Connor Nolan's a little bit of a special scenario because he's a two-sport guy, and you wonder how much time he's going to miss. He's going to miss time with the football team. So you wonder how much of that will affect him. But then you got a guy like KJ Jefferson. I think he's ready to go. Good grief, I wish he was here during the spring. But he's not. But they got the receivers. And like you said, they're long, they're lengthy, they're average size. I mean, it's got to be 6'3", 6'3 and a half. TQ's 6'3", Nash 6'4", 6'5", Burks 6'3", 6'4". I mean, they're all, Shamar Nash is the shortest, and he's considered he's 6'2", 6'2 and a half. So, I mean, they've got, and on top of the length, they're skilled. We know they're coming from, their backgrounds are impressive, right? I mean, with the offers, with the star power, with how well some of these guys did in camps. I mean, some of them didn't camp at all, and then you've got Hudson Henry to add. This is the best receiving / tight end class they have ever signed, and it's impressive. So it's going to take some time. Like I said, it's hard to be that patient when we've had the Bielema era, and now the Chad Morris era is beginning. But if you're patient, you give this guy some time, they're going to be special. I mean, I cannot believe the caliber of talent they landed at wide receiver, tight end, defensive line. It's incredible. Spivey was huge in terms of depth. I'm a little bit concerned, not with 2019, because Spivey's going to, let's be real, he's probably going to redshirt. Unless he just comes in and blows us all away, he's probably going to redshirt. So for the future, going forward, you got to start building some more depth in that running back position. And I think you're going to see that with next year's class. Hey, guys, great recruiting haul and basketball. I think you're talking, basketball wins against LSU and Vandy. Thanks, Richard. Richard's a good dude. You guys be extra nice to him. He's a Mississippi State fan, but he's a good guy. Thank you, Richard. Yeah, basketball. Wasn't really going to touch on that, but impressive. I am a Mike Anderson critic, and he's typical February though for Mike. He's turned. They're playing similar how they were at the beginning of the year. Tanya Henry says, "What do you think our record will be?" Well, I don't typically do record breakdowns until right before the season starts. I can give you a super early guesstimate, but it'll change probably 3 times between now and in August or until their first game. Right now, outside looking in, we still don't know what the quarterback situation is entirely, unless if there's no other transfers, it'll be Hicks. You're going to have freshmen, newcomers all around them, including the offensive line, some JUCO guys up there. It's like they wiped the slate clean. Look, year 1 and year 2 under the Chad Morris era is year 1 combined. Okay, it's year 1. His first year, 2018, was like year 0. Now we're year 1. Now he's got some players that fit his mold, but they're young. And with that, there's gonna be some growing pains. Right now, I would, first super early guess, I would say 4-8. But again, that could change between now and spring. Who knows? I don't know. Right now, it's just too early. But like, if you're just tossing it up in the air and you're just asking, you want a quick answer off the top of my head, 4-8. Let's see. Wow, you guys had a few. We should try and recruit Justin Fields. Well, Fields is not coming here. He's not here. Ship a sell. Time to move on to 2020. Anthony White says, Blake TV says this was our worst year ever, horrible record, plus Bielema helped with the Super Bowl. Well, that's a guy that got rich, huh? That's a guy that, wow. Did everything just turn out all right for him or not? Let's see. What's up, Richard? Sorry. I still don't have the glasses that I'm always complaining that I need. I still don't have them. I'm looking to the future and having 3 6'2" receivers, Hudson KJ, 225-pound running back on the field, all at the same time, potential ridiculousness. Yeah, I agree. Let's see. Josh Rebel says we will get more than 6 wins next year. Yeah, Fields is that. Yeah, Fields is gone. He went to Ohio State. Can't recruit him. Sorry. That comment was hilarious. Yes, Bill made out nicely. LASIK surgery for the win. Yeah, I know. I do. And I always complain because I don't ever read. I'm so far away from my screen, and I'm sitting here like an old guy. I'm only 35, and I'm sitting here like, oh, what did he say? I can't read the chat. You youngin'. Slow it down. But so the overall recap at the end of the day when you're talking about this 2019 recruiting class, it is awesome. You can't be upset with it when you go 2-10. I've already had someone emailed me and they were like, I'm so pissed we didn't land Lockyer or Russell. This is a disaster. Time to get rid of this sorry old D coordinator. It's his fault. Come on. 2-10 and you have a top 20 recruiting class on top of the talent they landed on the defensive line is incredible. How do you think the DBs will be? I'm going to tell you something. Ryan Pooley leaving has me thinking. I don't know. I don't know where Pooley's going to go in the draft. I've always said since his second year and when he really turned out, I thought watching him play, this guy can be a complete shutdown corner. He could be. I don't know. I guess it just all depends on what he does at the NFL Combine, but he's impressive nonetheless. But him not being here next year has me wondering. You're going to see some. I wouldn't be surprised if it's just a whole new secondary out there. God knows. I hope you guys go bowling, and if one of those wins is a blowout of Ole Miss, Richard, we hate Ole Miss. Probably not as much as you, but goodness. You can't be negative about this class considering what we did this past season. Just imagine when we gain a positive record. Yeah, and I said that earlier, Imagine if they do something spectacular here too. Now, spectacular for the Razorbacks is going to be 6 wins. Making a bowl game is going to be spectacular. I couldn't imagine. That's riding the ship, and that's definitely a strong step in the right direction. Right now, I don't see them getting there, but we'll have to wait and see. Again, I want to say a special shout out. I can't say this enough. James Rice. Maybe I'm going to take that $50. I'm going to put it towards LASIK surgery. But again, you guys, if you want to join the Patreon, you can check out the description link down below. You can become a Patreon member. I think I'm going to we're going to have to take a look at the Patreon in the summer or maybe after the spring. I'm going to try and readjust, maybe create some tiers. If you've ever heard of a Patreon, it's like a subscription, but I think it's $4 if you want to join. If not, you can also make a one-time donation like our man, Mr. James Rice did. But again, thank you, James. I really do appreciate that. But also, remember to like, comment, share the content. Share the content, share the video. I know some people aren't watching this live. They're watching this later on. Special shout out to you. And, of course, to the people who were able to make this live. I do appreciate it. But this was an insanely good recruiting class, all things considered. I guess I still need to answer that 3 impact question. The 3 guys that'll make an impact. I guess I just don't know. I just don't know. I don't know who's going to make the biggest impact out of this recruiting class. But again, receivers, the secondary, the defensive lineman, I could see anybody coming up and doing something special. Do you think Arkansas B-ball will make the turning? Basketball? No. Nope. I don't. This is typical Mike Anderson. I'm about to set some of you on fire here with this, but I mean, this is typical Mike Anderson. He's good enough to not get fired. He's going to have a strong February. I just don't see them making the tournament. If they do, they're going to have to get some upsets. Their resume is crap. Outside of Indiana, it's just not a good resume right now. They're going to have to get some upsets. I don't see them doing that. Maybe they do. They surprised me with that win. Beating those 2 recent wins have been the most impressive. Well, I mean, the Vanderbilt win wasn't all that great. They should blow these teams out at home. They shouldn't be losing to bad teams at home, which they've done. But they've also beaten some good teams. It's just kind of a weird season. But Mike Anderson is just good enough to not get fired. That's what he is. And that's what he's going to be at Arkansas. If they do make the tournament, it'll probably be 1 and done. Maybe 2. Maybe he surprises us next year. I will admit, I do think next year they could be something pretty cool, something good. I don't know about great. They're going to have to replace Gafford. We'll have to wait and see how some of these young guys do. But I just look. I mean, next year's year 9. Next year is year 9. I mean, yeah, he's got a great record. People love bringing up the fact that they're young this year. And they're right. It's one of the youngest in the country. That is a very true statement. They love bringing up his overall winning record at Arkansas and his overall record as a coach. He's one of the winningest regular season coaches in college basketball that are still active among active coaches. That's great. But when it matters, where's he at? Where's the tournament runs? Where are the banners? Where's the regular season SEC champs? SEC West, well, that doesn't exist anymore, but where's something that they can show? They just have nothing to show for it after year 8 or year 8 years. I want Mike Anderson to turn it around as bad as anybody. Oh my gosh, I'd love for them to just prove me wrong. If you guys listen to Josh Bernaccini in the morning, I think he's kind of in the same boat. I don't think he's the Hog fan that I am because he's not from here, but I want him to succeed. But I've gotten off the boat. I did last year, especially before the Butler loss. I kind of called it. I remember talking to my dad when they made the tournament. I said, Dad, they're not going to make it. They'll be lucky to make it the second round or past the second round. And they didn't even get past the first. I'm just kind of done with Mike Anderson. I think he laid a wonderful foundation. I'll admit to that as well. Laid a great foundation, but he left the program better than the way that he found it, and that's wonderful. But I think it's time to pass the baton. I think it's time to let someone else try. That's where I'm at. I know people are gonna come back and watch this and I'm going to get filleted every time I talk about Mike Anderson. I have a filtered section. You guys can't see the comments because they go to my filter section because they're full of swear words and they tell me how blankety blank dumb I am for saying that or whatever. But it is what it is. That's where. What does he have to show for 8 seasons? He's got a winning regular season record. Awesome. What does he have to show for it? I'm waiting. Prove me wrong. But if you ask me right now, if they don't make the tournament, should they bring him back for year 9? No. That's my opinion. So, hey, if you disagree, that's fine. That's cool. We're Razorback fans, right? We can disagree. That's okay. I want him to prove me wrong, though. Ty, does Gafford go pro this year? Yes. I mean, he's especially lately, he's turning it on. And he's starting to, he's boxing out a little bit better underneath. He's playing a little bit better in the paint. He's free throw shooting. I thought I saw he's improved a lot there, and that was something I said coming into this year. I'd love to see him improve, go up 10 or 12%. I think he's doing that. He's on pace to do that. So, do you think again Gafford coming back? No, I just don't see it. Oliver says thanks for your opinion. Isaiah Joe is incredible. If he continues playing like this, if he gets any better, I don't know that he's coming back. I really don't. I mean, to me, he's one of the best perimeter shooters in the SEC, and he's a freshman, and he's only going to get better later. Ty, see you, James. Thanks again, bud. I really do appreciate it. Let's see. John David White could be Drew Morgan 2.0. I don't know about that. If we go 5-4 here on out, then win one game in the SEC tournament, I think we make the tournament. And by the way, I'm 12. Oh, Oliver, I'm not going to take it hard on you, man. You're good. You're okay. I don't swear here. It's family friendly here. Comment and share this video. Thank you, Blake. I really do appreciate that. Ashby Lawson, do you think we will make the NIT? No. Well, I shouldn't say no. Maybe. Thoughts on how much longer Dave Van Horn is going to be the Hogs? Well, obviously, if he leaves, it's going to be out of retirement. I don't know what his contract deal is. I think he signed an extension. I think he's going to be here until he's not. He's the GOAT. He's the best coach they have, proven coach they have on campus. And I remember where we were at when Petrino was here. It's like, wow, we got Mike Anderson, we got Dave Van Horn, we got Bobby Petrino. What a great coaching, set of coaches we have on campus. And now it's, but he's still here and he's still the man. Yes, if you're going to ask me where I'm at with them making the World Series, I think it's possible. I don't know about championship game, but I think it's possible. I really do. The people who do keep up with them the most, they've said on radio, they've said on social media, this team could be as good or better. I do wonder about their bullpen a little bit. I wonder if they can come close to how well they were at the plate last year. They're going to have to rely on some newcomers, obviously, there and in the bullpen. We're going to have to see. I think we're gonna get a chance to see Connor Nolan make the rotation on the mound. That's going to be interesting to watch. Let's see. Tony Healy says, if you could pull the trigger and hire the next basketball coach, who would you get realistically? I don't know. I'm going to have to sit back and do a little research on who that might be, because I really don't know. Obviously the powers that be will have to make that decision if they do decide to go another route. I do think you can get an upgrade at the basketball head coach position, but you have to look at what Mike Anderson didn't have coming in year one, right? He didn't have the practice facility. He didn't have the Jones Nutrition Center. You didn't have the kick-ass renovation. I'm sorry, kick butt. Sorry, Oliver. Forgot you're 12. The kick butt renovations to Bud Walton. And then look at the team. Assuming you only lose Gafford, look at who they have coming back next year. You're going to tell me that a pretty decent head coach is going to look at that and just turn away? I think they could get someone pretty decent. I do. Maybe it'd be a young and up-and-comer. I don't know. And you're going to have to roll that dice. That's just part of it. You do that every time you hire a new head coach. But just making the tournament can't be the ceiling of Arkansas basketball. That can't be the ceiling now. And if you're okay with that, why? Why is anybody just okay with that? I don't get it. Well, he got to the second round. How many tournament wins does the guy have? That's the question. Just got in. Can you do a recap on recruiting? You can start the video from the beginning, but we've kind of transitioned a little bit. We're actually about to end it. We transitioned to basketball a little bit. Do you think Connor will start again at quarterback? I don't know. I don't know. Again, that's when spring. We're gonna have to really, take the. We're gonna have to take a good hard look at the quarterback situation in the spring while it's happening. Read all the practice reports that I can. Hopefully, get a chance to really see what they could do in the spring game, just to see where they, if anything, see where they rotate the guys and who gets the most snaps, who gets the most reps with the first team. It's probably going to be Hicks again, just because of his experience under Chad Morris. But Connor Nolan, if he can balance the two sports, I think Connor Nolan, ceiling wise, has a higher ceiling than Hicks. But again, you wonder about his dedication to the two sports. Can he balance baseball and football? How much of playing baseball sets him back at the quarterback position? I don't know. Let's see. Probably have to be an up and comer. I guess you're talking about the basketball. Yeah, it probably would be an up and comer, but I think it would be someone stronger than than a previous hire than Pelfrey. Someone maybe a little bit more proven. But again, that's the dice that you roll. You just cannot be happy with just making the tournament. Yes, Mike Anderson has taken Arkansas basketball to a different spectrum in terms of the expectations, since the Stan Heath, or since the ending years of Nolan Richardson, Stan Heath and Pelfrey. We're back to a legitimate basketball program, but 8 years later, that's just all that's there is a foundation that's been set, but he's not been able to build a house on top of it, right? We haven't been able to make a decent tournament run. And I think that's the difference in college basketball between, proven and not proven in terms of, where Mike Anderson's at. I think it's just his time to go. Probably hope I'm not too late. What happened to Lockyer? Lockyer went to Ole Miss. I don't know what happened, but he's a rebel. Blake says only two things made my Hog football season better: this channel and Alabama getting whooped by Clemson. Really makes me believe in our Hogs. I'm extremely excited about the future. Thanks to you, IZ. Blake, thanks again, man. I really do appreciate it, man. You come through a lot of the videos. You're I can always rely on you to come in and comment and keep chat going too. You're awesome, Blake. I really do appreciate that. Really looking forward to watching the channel during spring football. Let's see, during spring football and on again. Super stoked. Tyler, thanks, man. Again, we're going to try and keep you up to date. There have been, last week, we didn't even get a video out. Was it last week or a week before last? We weren't able to get a video out. I had kids sick. You could probably hear my 4-year-old right now. We've had kids sick. We also have a side business that was busy. Sometimes I'm just unable to get any content out, but I'm going to do my best to keep you guys up to date. Hopefully things will settle down. I plan on really keeping this thing going as long as I can. But again, I do appreciate every one of you guys coming through and watching this. You guys, I mean, it's the reason why I do what I do. When you guys come through and you're supportive, even if you're just watching and not commenting, I'd still be here. But when you guys comment, keep chat going. It's fun. It's good times. We got to be better. Just got to have faith and patience. I agree. Let's see. Richard Neal, mutual hatred of Bama and Ole Miss. That ties. I agree. I don't know. I just got an alert. I don't know what that alert is. Don't work yourself to death, Tyler. That is the challenge, trying to work and have these two kids settled in and then sit down and try and get you guys content. Sometimes can be a little overwhelming. Face out. I got to leave. Love you, brother. Hey, take it easy, man. Thanks for coming through. But that's going to do it, guys. Thank you so much. We went 59 minutes. I really didn't think we'd go beyond 45 minutes, but hey, we're here. It was an hour long. I may cut out the first couple of minutes, when we were trying to settle and get chat in, or to get chat going and to get more people in. We will have more content on this 2019 class. Hopefully this week we'll do another recap, probably a little bit more in depth when I've had time to kind of sit down and really, take a magnifying glass to everything. But yeah, I'm excited. Solid class. I think majority of Hog fans are really excited about this class and about the future of Razorback football, as you should be. So thanks again. Remember to like, comment, share the content that you just watched. If you haven't already, feel free to tap the subscribe button. Don't forget the notification button down below. Click it. There's some links down there. And that's going to do it. Thank you, guys. We'll have, like I said, I'll have another video out for you later on in the week. Hopefully, if not next week. But I'm going to try and start work on the next video for the week. So go Hogs and be kind to one another. Peace. Thanks again, guys, too. Appreciate it.